Good morning. It's a day later and probably be about 50 mils of rain yesterday. So I decided to carry on digging in the rain and cementing to the posts. So you won't see that in the video, but let me show you where I am. Alright, so as you can see, I've cemented that post in over there and just one on the end there. So once that's all settled in, I'll just run the string line and measure out the posts evenly and start digging those holes. So the next thing I'm going to do is just clean up this little area over here, just remove all the kids' things, and I will start cementing those posts in. I'm not sure how many bags I need for each post. I'm going to do a few, and then based on what I use, I will go buy the rest. Alright, well, let's do this. Well, it's not really what you think it is. It's not raining over here. This is me sweating through this sticky stuff. It may look pretty dry on the video, but it's all pretty sludgy stuff, so sticking to my rake and making life a little bit difficult. But I think that's good enough for now. Just needed to clear it so I can bring in the cement mixer and have a bit of space. And yeah, we'll start cementing those posts in. Let's do this. my top wall over here. I had a few issues with the little holes. I've had to widen a few of them. I made a mistake when I referenced the end of the post, but I dug the holes as if they were in the center, so they're off by a few centimeters. That's okay. I had to dig them up a little bit more and use a little bit more cement than I would have hoped, but that's okay. So I'm just going to take away the string line, and yeah, let me show you. I've got an issue that I got to deal with this wall quickly. Alright, so all the posts look pretty good. They were in a little bit of a mission getting them right. Some of the holes were, like I said, were just a little bit off, so a last little manipulation in the end. I have adjusted the other ones already at the bottom there, so they should give us less of a problem. Now the dilemma I have over here is just how do I blend the wall nicely, and I think what I'm going to do is just slant the cut into here, just for half of the first sleeper, and then the other half at like a proper contact point, so probably halfway. Because you don't want to go to the end and have it sticking out on this side, or I don't want it square because I think that'll just look silly. So yeah, I'm going to take away the string line, start measuring that first piece, and start putting the sleepers. So here we go. Alright, so as you can see, I've cut this at an angle, and I've cut this a little bit longer, just so that I have more of the sleeper touching this post. And the idea is that just will make this wall blend a little bit better into here. I think if there was a square cut, that it would just look pretty obvious, but this way we blended, and then on the front of the wall there'll be stone. This pipe will be on the inside, so that won't be here, but yeah, so I think that's gonna look okay. So I'll start fastening these posts. That would be the hardest one. I've just got to cut them to length every time. That is the handy thing about making these 90 centimeters apart, because you just have a little bit of a wiggle room. If you make any errors with the exact 3 meter lengths on 1 meter spacing, you can end up with gaps between your connections, whereas yeah, you can cut them to size and make them work. All right, well, let me get on with that. Right, well there we go. I've got the first layer at the top done. Cutting in place seemed like a good idea for the first one. That went alright, but the second one didn't go as well. And as you can see, I've kind of mucked that one up and left a little bit of a gap. Anyways, I might just cut a little piece of wood to shim inside there and clean that up. So the next one, I will start with this piece over here, which is just going to be 90 centimeters down there, and in that way then I stagger the 3 meter lengths, which will just make it a little bit stronger. The ones that are connected to each other from a single piece will vary on each layer. Yeah, so the next one will be easy enough, but then I'll have to rip down the sleepers for the 10 centimeter piece at the bottom. So I'll just do the next one, and then I will start the post.
Few inches later.
Alright, so second layer is in, and much easier than the top one. And just finished it off flush on the end there. I may just trim off a little bit at a diagonal at a later stage, maybe, because I will end up retaining through there. And so I've just cleaned up there a little bit and ready for the 10 centimeter piece, which I'll need to rip in a table saw. But before I do that, I will get on with those posts. Finished cementing my posts. Everything looks okay. So this is where I've decided to put a step in, and the original plan was just to do one width, the 90 width, and so definitely I think the two lengths are full lengths are better. It's just a question whether I put the post in at the bottom. So I'm going to build the two steps first, and then once it's done, I'll put the post in and see if it looks visually okay. And yeah, so I'll just wait for these to dry, and then I can get stuck onto putting up the wall. Yeah, so I'll call it a day there, and yeah, at least that's the hardest part of the job done, and now it's all the fun part. We'll see you next time. Cheers.